Some mismatched darts from Terry the Bull Jenkins. A 6-5 win for the Bully Boy, number 3 seed. Ian White's the number 7 seed. Bunting unseeded. Looking to become the first winner on the Euro Tour to come through the qualifiers and go and win the thing since Vincent van der Voort, I believe, back in the Austrian Darts Open in Salzburg last year. Dan Dawson in the commentary box for this one, alongside me, Mike Lawrence.
Yes, good evening, Dan. Good evening, everyone. Looking forward to this. And if Stephen Bunting does come through here, it'll set up an all St Helens clash with Michael Smith. And then if Dave Chisnell wins his quarterfinal, we could have dominance from St Helens in north of England tonight. But Ian White will have something to say about that, the number 7 seed. And you mentioned Bunting, the only non-seed to make it through to the last 8.
Game on!
And it is Stephen Bunting then, following a fantastic 6-5 win this afternoon over Peter Wright.
58.
Yeah, great game of darts that was.
3-1 down, 4-1 down. Took out a 105 checkout to make it 4-all. 120 for 5-all. And averaged 104.1 in that game.
60.
The best we've seen this weekend in terms of the averages. 104. 66% in his doubles as well. When he got a chance, he took it, Stephen Bunting. But Ian White averaged 103 himself, and seeing off Bob Thornton earlier on today. So if they hit those heights, we're in for something very, very special here.
Well, that first quarter-final was certainly a cracker. But Michael Smith it is who awaits the winner of this one in the first semi-final.
100.
Yes, Stephen Bunting having to come through the UK qualifying tournament last month in Crawley, and then in the first round
123.
seeing off Jamie Robinson here on Friday.
81.
And then beating the number 15 seed Jamie Caven in round 2.
Yeah, Jamie Caven and his wife Debbie in the crowd. Good mates of Ian White.
60.
Here cheering him on.
Ian, you require 158.
So it's White first down to a finish.
Oh, lovely first dart. And the second, double 19.
120. Stephen, you require 109.
Now, ton plus for Bunting. Double 16. Gets it, 109 checkout, and Stephen Bunting picks up where he left off against Peter Wright this afternoon. If he gets a chance, he's taking it.
Yeah, cracking start from Stephen Bunting. That 158 checkout. The task just too far for White, and Bunting was there poised and took out the 109 as cool as you like.
Well, plenty of opportunities even in this short format for the momentum to switch one way and then the other. That last game between Michael Smith and Terry Jenkins, we have 5 consecutive breaks of throw to end it. It was one guy was favourite, then the other guy, then back the other way. It was absolutely bonkers. Michael Smith surviving 2 match darts to book his place in the last 4. He awaits the winner of this one.
46.
We talked about the 3 St Helens players in the tournament, Smith, Bunting and Dave Chisnell. There's only one from Stoke. What's going on? And it's Ian White.
Yes, the English hotbed of darts shifting maybe from Stoke towards St Helens.
Still some pretty handy players from Stoke, it's fair to say. As Stephen Bunting fires in a maximum.
Here in requirement 121.
Treble 19 leaves
89.
Yeah,
32 when he goes back.
No need to go the ball route, of course, with Bunting back on 218, despite that 180.
85.
It's a double 16 for one apiece for the Diamond Ian White.
Game shot, no
13 darts there, very tidy indeed.
Ian White, third leg, Stephen to throw first. Game on.
Stephen Bunting's enjoyed the
82.
lion's share of the matches between these two. They did meet each other as far back as 2010 in the Lakeside World Championships.
97.
Yeah, he won that 3-0, did Bunting. One of 5 victories against the Diamond Ian White. But Ian did beat him last year in the quarterfinals of a Players' Championship in Barnsley.
100.
And he'll remember that, because that was on a run to the final, where he ended up losing to Dave Chisnell. Has made a couple of finals this year as Ian White. Lost again
83.
to Chizzy, lost to Taylor as well. But on the way to those finals, he hit perfect 9-dart legs. He is throwing the same dart tonight as he was throwing on those occasions when he hit the 9-darters and made the run to the final. In fact, he has made a final of a European Tour. It was a while back. He hit a 9-darter on the way to that as well.
100.
That was in a run to the final of the German Darts Masters back in 2012 in Sindelfingen, and ended up losing to Adrian Lewis, but hit a perfect leg against Andy the Hammer Hamilton, another Stoke player. Bunting down to 82, can do it in 2 darts. Should get at least 1 dart at double top. Ian White is going to be on something workable. Yeah, he's going to be right there with him.
Stephen, you require 82.
It's a ball for the bullet. 17. For Tops, just snuck that one in the corner.
Game
and that one is right where it needs to be.
Full leg in to throw first. Game on.
That did just sneak in there, but no messing on the outshot, and looking good at the start of this game is Stephen Bunting.
141.
Ian White switching down after those first 2 treble 20s. That win over Robert Thornton, and before that over Mickey Mansell
60.
in the second round for Ian White. And as we saw in those 2 games, and as he has been this evening, regularly going back to the table to rub his darts with some wax.
140.
So whether he's having some grip issues.
That's a very impressive average there for Ian White. I know we're only in the 4th leg here.
59.
108 average. Yeah, he's only had 2 darts at double. Madness. Just the 45 means he's not on a finish, but even a maximum from Stephen Bunting doesn't get him to 1, so nothing to worry about just yet.
100.
Stephen Bunting in his 2nd year on the PDC, of course, having made the move over, already made 2 major semi-finals. I mean, that is some progress for a man in the early stages of his PDC career.
37.
Now then, that'll make him think a little bit. Now, Ian White missed double 19 for the 158 earlier. He may split this, and he has done. Double 16. And he gets it. 2 apiece here.
A great response. Bunting having banged in that 180, and the crowd making their noise. Didn't put off White, and Bunting with a 140 at the start of the 5th leg. But yeah, he certainly more than proved that he is worthy of a place among the PDC elite. Stephen Bunting, in just the short time that he's made the switch from the BDO.
Yeah, I mean, he did talk a number of times last year about I wasn't sure if I could make the step up and how successful it would be. I mean, it helped winning his second tournament. He won one of the UK Open qualifiers literally within days of making the switch. I think that settled him down, certainly. But, you know, a run to the semi-finals of the Grand Prix, then made the quarter-finals of the World. Got that moving speech from Barney on stage, having lost to him, about how he's one of the best in the world and he deserves to be here. And yes, by the way, I've just beaten you.
I think that had us all in tears, that speech from Barney, as well as Barney and Stephen Bunting.
81.
Semi-final of the UK Open recently as well. It was a rather ignominious end in a 10-0 defeat to Peter Snakebite Wright. Some sort of vengeance this afternoon, though. Beating him 6-5.
100.
Certainly was. Cracking game, that one.
He's looking good in this leg. It's been a bit of an average one for Ian White.
60.
Certainly compared to the previous ones. He's still averaging 104-ish. Well, it's gone down a little bit now. Well, it's gone right down to 98 following those 3 relatively poor visits at the start of this leg. And that continues. At least 6 darts from here for Stephen Bunting to go back into the lead.
42.
Well, didn't make the most of that. 135 when he comes back. Ian White looking to fill it up. 140 leaves him
require 135.
with a nice outshot if he gets the chance, which he will do.
53.
Just the 53. Now, Ian White for the first break of throw in the match. He's going to get a dart at double top. Can he finish it off? He can. He can. And the diamond goes 3-2 up. First break of throw here.
Game on.
And he was absolutely nowhere in that leg.
He was trailing well behind, wasn't he?
He hit 1 treble in the first 4 visits to the ball. And then he goes ton 40, 120 out. Thank you very much. Throwing for a 4-2 lead now.
134.
Great cover on the 19s there as well.
Max Hopp knocked out earlier, so the German crowd have had to find somebody else to shout about. Peter Wright, they love singing for him. He got knocked out.
Yes.
Michael Van Gogh, he's not here. So who are you going to shout for? Stephen Bunting appears to be their
60.
Man of the moment.
Well, Bunting looking to fill it up and does so. His third 180 of the match. And we saw the first quarter-final go all the way to an 11th and deciding leg, which Michael Smith won, but
41.
It wouldn't surprise me if this one goes all the way as well. Just so little to choose between
100.
these top players now when they're both on song.
Well, Michael Van Gogh was just you know, the elephant in the room with every tie that was played out this weekend. There was, you know, no matter what averages anybody threw,
87.
there was always the yeah, but Michael's here,
Yeah.
and he's won the first 4 events.
Yeah.
That was always the caveat. Doesn't matter how well anybody's playing. At some point, the likelihood is you're going to meet Michael Van Gogh. That's not going to happen anymore.
No.
Benito
95.
van der Pas dumped him out this afternoon, ending a 21-game winning run on the Euro Tour in 2015.
Yeah, extraordinary run of results. And an extraordinary performance by Benito van der Pas, who's in action against Justin Pipe later.
Now, Ian White took this out in the last leg to steal it away from Stephen Bunting. Bunting got the jump on him in this leg on the Ian White throw. Is he going to be made to pay? Could be. The first dart is right where he wants it. He just wants to stay away from the flights of that first dart. Oh, that's just snuck in. Topsy once. And tops he gets. What a finish. 120, 2 legs running under the most severe pressure. And the diamond, Ian White, is producing a sparkling display of finishing.
Certainly is.
57.
120s, 2 legs in a row. And this is why the diamond is one of those players that nobody likes to come up against, especially when he's on this sort of form. Yes, you mentioned the absence of Michael van Gerwen, and the 8 players that made it through to the quarterfinals, every one of them
96.
deserved of lifting a European Tour trophy, that's for sure.
Yeah, certainly capable. Michael Smith's won one. Neither of these guys
41.
have won one before. Ian White's made a final, as I mentioned earlier. Stephen Bunting's best run was a semi-final in Berlin last year when he was beaten by Phil Taylor. Of the 4 other guys, Chizzy and Hybrex, who square off, they both won one.
34.
And then Pipe and Van der Pas. Piper's won one. Van der Pas in uncharted territory. Could he go all the way, having beaten the world number 1? Oh, this could hurt.
140.
Needed the maximum to get to a finish, so Stephen Bunting knows he's got 6 darts from here to pull a leg back, and that's a lovely looking first dart. Lovely stuff. Treble 18. Oh, what a set-up shot.
Superb. 174. Another ton 40. That's the 9th ton 40 for Ian White. He's been superb on the ton 40 scoring, the power scoring, but it's 2 10s here for Stephen Bunting to reduce the arrears to 4-3.
8 leg Ian to throw first. Game on.
Well, Ian White knows 2 holes of throw sees him through to the semi-finals, and if you're going to kick off with a 180, it makes it very, very difficult for your opponent to break you. That's his first 180 of the match, Ian White, despite the fact he's averaging up in the very high 90s. In fact, he's just gone over the 100 with that maximum. And he's in there again. He's in there again.
The crowd desperate to see a 9-darter tonight.
About the crowd, I am as well. I mentioned it a couple of times this weekend. Gibraltar 2013, that's the last 9-darter we saw on the European Tour. Ross Smith against Adrian Lewis.
Yes, it's been a while.
Is that a fly on the double
yes,
treble 18?
that fly that's been living on the dartboard right the way through the weekend is still living dangerously by hovering around when these guys are chucking the tungsten.
133.
I hope it's moved off that treble 18 because Ian White's going for it now.
86.
Needs the bullseye for 5-3 to go within a leg of the semi-finals. Ian White gets it. Ian White has only missed 1 dart at doubles in the entire match. That's a 12-darter, finished on the ball. And the diamond is producing something special. Bunting needs his very best for the last 3 legs here.
And kicks off in the best possible way that he can, a 180. But yeah, this is the best I can remember seeing Ian White playing for
60.
some time on the big stage.
And there you go. Nothing has gone longer than 6 visits to the board. 3 18-darters, 2 14s, a 13, a 12 and a 15. It's a good standard of darts, that. A good standard of darts. Another 180 for Ian White. Keeps him in touching distance in this leg, but Bunting looking to sprint away from him with another one of his own. There it is. 180 number 4 for the Bullet.
Well, he's pulled a cracking leg of darts out the bag just when he had to do it. Here's White again, putting some pressure. 4 180s in this leg alone. Double 16, and keeps his hopes alive by bringing it back to 5-4 to Stephen Bunting. Oh, and I think the sound guys thought the match was all over, playing the music.
It's a touch of the Terry Jenkins about that. Terry thinking he won the game a leg earlier than he had done against Roby John Rodriguez earlier. Turn around, shake his hand. No, you've got to carry on playing. The ball's not working the sound equipment here, is he? Shouldn't detract from an incredible leg of darts we've just seen there. 2 180s from Ian White. Not enough. 2 180s for Stephen Bunting in a 12-darter. 11-darter even.
And kicking off this 10th leg with a 1080. Oh, it's getting a hammering, that treble 20 bed in this game.
81.
Well, we said Bunting and need his very best in these last 3 legs. He produced an 11-darter in the last leg. He's kicked off 180 in this one. There's groans around the crowd because they feel that these two are playing at a standard that maybe the perfect leg is possible.
57.
Ian White with the advantage of throwing first, and great cover on the 19s. He doesn't want to prolong this any more than he has to. Wouldn't want to take it to a deciding leg, especially when Bunting is hitting 180s for fun at the moment.
6 180s in the last 2 legs, 4 of them from Stephen Bunting. He could potentially do back-to-back 11-darters here. If he does do that, he will be throwing for the match in a deciding leg. He was superb in beating Peter Wright earlier on with an average of 104. Double 12. We're going all the way here. Stephen Bunting has stormed back into this.
The 11th and final leg. Stephen to throw first. Game on.
Well, the crowd here in the Saxon Arena already getting their money's worth tonight. And this is only the second quarter-final, folks.
Look at that. The last 4 legs, 14, 12, 11, 11. In that time, we've seen a 174 and 7 180s between these two. It has been ridiculous stuff.
Madness.
I not, you know, those 2 11-darters. That's with Ian White sat there ready to go out as well. It's not like Stephen Bunting's just kicked in and been under no pressure at all. He's done it to stay in the match, and with Ian White ready to pounce. Another 10-40 for Stephen Bunting. He's 100 points ahead, but here comes Ian White back at him. Oh, yes! Ian White! Oh, my word.
This is as good a game of darts as you might see in a long, long while.
$81, that's really, really cost him. If it was just a 20, he'd be on 121, then that's a much easier outshot than 140. Bunting's got to take advantage. Well, another one of those. Yes, he's got it. He's got it. Ian White, he nearly took out 158 early in the match. He's taken out 120 a couple of times. He's not going to take out 140, so Stephen Bunting should get match darts. But Ian White's going to be sat on tops for the match if he returns. 61 for Stephen Bunting.
For a place in a European Tour semi-final. He wants double 18, and just inside the wire, the crowd thought it had gone. It was mightily close, but instead it's Ian White looking at double top. Just composing himself.
Thank
This
you.
double 10,
Thank you.
the enormity of this. A few catcalls from the crowd. Ian
Game
Diamond
set.
White, what a match.
Ian White.
An absolutely incredible display from both players. Hitting 180s for fun, big out shots. Ian White ending up averaging over 105 there. But it is Ian White who will take on Michael Smith in the first semi-final this evening. And coming up next, Dave Chisnell against Kim Huybrechts, and that's followed by Justin Pipe against Benito van der Pas.
Und einen großen Applaus an den Gewinner, an Ian White. Thank you, gentlemen, for this great show. Ian, congratulations, congratulations. What a match. We had 11 180s. It was absolutely amazing.
Well, I said to you the round before, we're going to have to step it up. Yeah, it was a good game. You know, the two of us were fighting against each other. So, yeah, that's what everyone pays for, to come and watch.
You already looked to be like on the safe side, but then Stephen recovered in a fantastic way. Were you a little bit afraid at the end?
Oh, yeah, you're always afraid. But you just got to try and keep you cool and try and hit the 180s at the right time. So, but Stephen missed a couple of crucial darts at the double, and you know, I got my chance and I took it.
Thank you very much. It was a great show. Thank you. Ian White.